that brings us to today's episode, which is all about the internet, the wonder, the glory, the insanity that is the World Wide Web. So, are you ready to jump into it?
Yep.
Let's do it. Oh wait, it's also this episode is also brought to you by our group on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/NH podcast, which is where we be at.
All day, every day. Come join the group. See what you're missing.
Yeah.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yo, welcome to the show, everybody. I am so glad that you have joined us. This is the Natural Habitat Podcast, and my name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Internet number 2.
And we have just got back from a short vacation. You guys didn't know because we had pre-recorded and released all of our episodes on time because... Oh, whoops, sorry.
He was going to say because we're professionals, but obviously we're not.
I was just about to say because we're professionals.
Holy shit, Jay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. But,
way to take it down a notch.
It's what I do here. I don't know how long you've been around, but it's what I do.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, as I was saying, we are professionals, and we were on this break recently, and I found out during this break, this was actually a pretty long one. We've taken 2 or 3 days off. This was like 5 or 6 days we didn't do anything, and I found out that I do not have a life outside of podcasting. I fucking was lost in the world. I didn't know what to do. I got stuck in GTA 5 online, and that was kind of what my vacation consisted of, was work and that. If anybody plays GTA 5 online, I need a crew. I'm trying to join or start a crew. So
you should join motherfucking Call of Duty and give it the future. The new one's coming out soon. Or, well, not soon. It comes out in November, but...
Is it about Mars?
No, it's going to be 2 games. It's going to be Infinite Warfare is the new game.
Uh-huh.
And then it's going to come with Modern Warfare, a digital remaster of the original. And it's going to be sick, dude. It's going to be... I already saw, pictures of the updated versions of the maps and everything. And it's so much different, so much better. And it's going to be dope. Because that's where the nostalgia's at. All the Call of Duty fans want those old games back anyways, and it's going to be cool to be able to play it in the future on the Xbox One, the best possible case scenario, so it's going to be dope.
Well, I might have to get that one. I don't know. But either way,
join us. We play all the time.
Yeah, we've been playing games over the past 5 days. You guys have been listening to podcasts and think that we've been working, but we haven't been working.
Nope.
So don't tell Pat and Nat that, because we told them that we were here. We didn't tell them we were pre-recording. It's actually against our rules that are written on the wall, like pool rules.
Unwritten rules of the road.
Yeah, they say no pre-recording and releasing podcasts, which is weird because that's how a lot of them are done.
Yeah.
And it also says no glass drinks by the pool, which I have yet to see a pool. So maybe that's upstairs here on the other side of this glass. They have a sweet indoor pool. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm glad that we're back. It feels good to be here. I got my spliffing pen. I got my dab rig, and I say that we get high. We kick it off right, and we get high.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. You look at me like that was a strange request.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to get high, bro.
I've been waiting.
Come on, man. I'm waiting. We're already 6 minutes in, motherfucker.
I know. I smoked 10 minutes ago, but...
All right. Well, I got some music here. And
what you got?
This is from a release that came out a couple years ago now by Famous Deuce and Roach Clip, 2/3 of Rogue Status. This was a project that they did called 1224, and It was something to do with Christmas Eve, I think. And this was a song that I was on entitled Boom.
Boom.
The song is called Boom. So everybody out there, flick your pics, snap your pics, hashtag them NHP Smoke Sesh. We could all smoke together. Here is Boom.
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
Hold it in, you're choking up when you're smoking on that, smoking on that. Looking like I bought my blunt wraps at Costco. Got enough to keep my click high, but my costs low. You talking about you used to smoke, what you stop for? Low for me, I'll rap fast, but I got the sticky green, you can keep the rocks. Ho, you can find me twisting up a white owl. You say you got the best tree, it simply knocks. So you bout it, but your bag is smelling quite foul. I got that kush plant that'll make you pull and push back. Your keys and wallet, where'd you put that? You pee in a book bag, never look back. Got a little bit of hash if you wanna mash. We can puff past, turn it to ash. You take a sputter and succotash. You now smoking with the keys of the funky.
Suffering succotash. Whoops. I did it again.
Again.
I'm bad. I don't know why you guys put me in charge of the audio over here.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I told you.
Hasn't done its trick.
I told you I'm bad at it. You know what's funny? Is that we're 200 episodes in. We're over 100 episodes together now, like 150 episodes, you and me. I have not gotten any better at this.
I don't think anybody does. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at everybody's shows, even look at Rogan, everybody, you know, it's the same exact thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
Rogan's show today is no different from his very first episode, except for he's used to doing it a certain way now. Now he has a routine, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's really no difference whatsoever. It's all just like organic. And
it's funny to me that all these things that I do wrong are just things that I do wrong, and they aren't things that get corrected over time, like in any other situation.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. We accept it, moving right along.
Yep. Well, thank you for accepting me with all my flaws. I appreciate it, Joey, and listener.
That's how we do it.
So we discussed this earlier in the ads in the beginning. We do have a group on Facebook that we started I don't know, like 6 months ago, something like that, somewhere along the lines when we launched the SoundCloud and everything. And it is at facebook.com/groups/NH podcast. And this is just a public group for people to come in and, you know, share things that they think are interesting, things that they made. You know, if you're an artist or you create something, like we let people, you know, feel free to share your projects in here and, you know, spam people up as long as it's not all day long. And, also, like, it's where people that are like-minded can come together and, you know, share shit, discuss things. Listeners of the show can meet each other and be like, yo, this guy, you know, is into the same shit that I'm into. Maybe we'll become friends, and then somewhere along the lines have some sort of relationship or open relationship sexually along the lines, because we're trying to just spawn some sort of, it's like everything. It's a social media site, it's a group, it's a dating network, it's an eBay style buy, sell, and trade site, and you know, we try to offer a lot for people there. So
yeah, well, you could do all that, or you could fill it with useful, informing shit.
You're right, I added a bunch of things.
Try to, like, you know, make it interesting. I mean, I use it personally for a place to dump all the coolest shit I find, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always looking for, like, the next coolest things, and every time I find something neat, I make sure I throw it in there.
Yeah.
And I'm posting stuff in there, like, multiple times a day, so.
Yeah, I'll get all kinds of...
lots of cool shit.
I'll get all kinds of notifications from you. Joey Black posted a Natural Habitat podcast group, and I'll go there, and it's always something fresh. It's always something that's crazy. Just the other day, you posted that thing about... in 2020, they're doing the Olympics in Tokyo, and during the opening ceremonies, they're going to have a man-made meteor shower in the skies of Tokyo.
Yeah.
And that is insane. For one, they're going to be setting a satellite up with like 1,000 gas pellets.
Yeah.
And the gas pellets are going to fucking fall in like some orchestrated pattern and create this light show. And, you know, Asia and their pyrotechnics have been bad over the past few years. We've seen a lot of videos online of fires, explosions that were pyrotechnics that were supposed to be something cool and flashy that ended up burning. Do you remember when that fireball fucking engulfed like the crowd at some like EDM concert?
I don't know.
It was I want to say it was in Tokyo, and it was like everybody was just chilling. You see the video from people's smartphones and dancing and shit.
Oh,
and
yeah, I do remember that.
all of a sudden, fucking fire, some sort of liquid shot out on the crowd, caught on fire, and it was just like on everyone like napalm.
Yeah,
And you just see
crazy.
everybody burning. And that's the crazy, we were talking about it recently with rotten.com. Just the crazy shit you see on the internet now. It's so insane.
The gases inside are to make different colors.
Yeah.
That's all it's for. Like each different gas that they put in the pellets are going to make different colors. And then the pellets are obviously going to burn up before they ever hit the ground. You know, they're tiny fucking pellets. Motherfucking giant rocks burn up before they hit the ground, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
know.
I'm sure everything's going to be fine. It seems cut and dry. Everything's good.
Yeah, I'm interested as fuck. I think it's going to be pretty neat to see, you know what I mean? Just because it's probably never been done.
What if they all go up there and something about like, you know, the cold or the atmosphere or something makes all the pellets meld together and then it drops them all as 1,000 pellets and then fucking it's just a giant fireball of gas, like a man-made meteor that comes and shoots down into Tokyo.
Yeah, still with 1,000 pellets, it's not going to be a very big meteor.
Yeah, you're right. But, you know, a kid can dream. Come on.
I know, right? No, I think like I don't know. I think they're really smart. I think it's innovative.
Yeah,
I think it's
crazy.
like original. I think it's fucking smart on multiple levels because like, you know, they really got it figured out with what they're going to do and like how they're going to do it. And, you know, it takes a lot of maths and things to figure this type of shit out, and I'm sure that they put a lot of time and effort into it, you know, and that's just one aspect of like cool things that you'll find on the internet, you know, like there's so many things. The internet is really like, there's no end of it. There's no like, I know this guy before, I used to ask him what he was searching for, and he said he was searching for the end of the internet. And it's so funny because like he could search forever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would never stop. And it really it's funny to me because it's like it's its own universe, you know? It's really hard to explain. Like if you had to travel in time, if you had to go back in time to like the 50s or like any point in time really, any time in history before the last 30 years. If you could go back in time and be like, yo, there's this thing called the internet. And try to explain it to somebody. Like, here.
Yeah.
Explain the internet to me right now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
The internet is like a bunch of computers, and then you go, what's a computer? Okay. It's like okay, so the internet is like it's like a brain. It's like a bunch of brains that are all made out of like metal and wires, and they're all connected by invisible cords, and they can communicate with each other.
And then, you know, and then I say, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
And then I go about my day and like it didn't exist, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's impossible to explain it. It's a fucking inanimate object. It's its own universe. It's a man-made universe, basically. And that's like the only way you can explain it, you know? And that's like, there's no way to like, without knowing every aspect of the fucking ones and zeros that puts the shits together, you know, the average person can't even understand that shit anyways. You know, the fucking mechanics that go behind creating the internet and everything and connecting servers and fucking everything that has everything to do with it, you know? The average person like has no idea what any of those terms or any of these things mean right there. You said it yourself. You try to explain it as brains with invisible cords and fucking made out of metal and wires. In my mind, you know, like if I was a farmer or something, I'd be picturing some fucking spaghetti looking monster full of fucking wires and cords and all made out of metal with fucking invisible brains and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like it seems scary, or like
Right.
something like, you know, or something that doesn't make sense or whatever. And it's like it's hard to think of in any other way. We just know it, you know what I mean? We just are lucky and have it, and we just get to use it, and
Yeah.
you know, and people really don't understand the depth of it, and it's like this crazy thing. It's the craziest thing to ever happen
Yeah.
to mankind.
And just-
It's the almighty equalizer, if there ever was one.
Mhm. And just to think about, you know, people 100 years ago, how they couldn't even comprehend the idea of the internet, that just helps like solidify the fact that, you know, we haven't been coasting along for the past 1,000 years or whatever. We're in like constant change, faster and faster, and totally like evolving as a species. And we don't know where we're going to be at. We don't know what things are going to be like in 100 years. We have no idea. We can't even come close to comprehending what it's going to be like, because these people 100 years ago had no idea how the internet would work, even if you explained it. It'd be like trying to explain a satellite to an ant. It's like, even if you could communicate with it, there's no way that you would be able to break down what it is. And
Yeah, you know.
So it's a trip, man. And like, just to think, you know, how quick it popped up and how quick the internet has been progressing. Just when I was a child, there was no internet or very little internet. When I was, you know, as a child that could function and use a computer and shit. And then when I was, you know, 10 and 11, it was like AOL and just real basic shit. Everything was, there was no videos, like flash players weren't even a thing. It was all just text. You could just read things, and that was it.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy to think like what it's really turned into also.
Yeah. And now
because
everybody has access.
most people only use it for social media. Most people only use it for like things that they're programmed to use it for. Most people don't even use Google. They only use it like if they need to know like a specific thing, but they don't use it when they want to question something or like, you know what I mean? Like when in our normal thinking, we could be like, you know, I wonder what this is.
Yeah.
And then just put it off and never even look at it. And me and you would just be like, I wonder what this is. I'm gonna Google that shit right now because I'm fucking curious and I want to know what the hell is it. You know? And no, not a lot of people are really like in tune with Google or like use it right or like know how to use it. And I think that people only use social medias and are like don't realize what's really happening. You know, and it's crazy to see like the internet was invented to be a tool, a way to fucking be used and be useful. And it ended up being
A distraction.
It ended up connecting everybody.
Yeah.
That's really what happened. And it's made people like, it's connected the entire global population without fucking people realizing it. Everybody uses social medias and things in a selfish way, but they don't realize that no matter how they use it, they're connecting to everybody in the process. And now by everybody participating in it, it's become a fucking global brain. It's like a global consciousness. Whenever something happens, it creates fucking a global reaction instead of a local reaction, and it's not allowing people to be lied to or covered up anymore. It's not like, you know, it allows people like freedom of information and freedom of forming opinions and fucking, you know what I mean?
It provides
if
like
you
extreme transparency on anything you want if you search it and if you know how to search it. And I remember when I was a kid, it was, oh, you can't believe that. You can't believe anything you read on the internet. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
Yeah,
and now it's the opposite of that. You believe what you read on the internet as long as you are aware of the source that you're getting it from. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of bullshit sites out there.
Yeah, if it's a vetted source for sure. And that's the difference, you know? And that's where like a lot of people get caught up and confused in Facebook.
It's not that hard to know what sites are legit and what sites, you know, don't do shit like that and don't just run a bunch of clickbait fear porn. And
but most people, I think, don't even care to look.
Yeah.
I think it's just a title. Like you said, a clickbait. It's just a fucking catchy reaction title. And then that's what got their attention, no matter what, if it's real or not.
Yeah.
People like, oh, what? The drama of whatever they're seeing, but don't look at the fucking name of the actual site at the bottom, like Fox 11 News or Fox 17 News or something like that. Like, no, why would that ever be a real website where you're going to get valid information from? Like, Fox is a fucking huge company. It would be like maybe Fox News or maybe Fox or something like that, but not fucking Fox 11. They own, like, it'd be on who knows what channel. Channels are different in every fucking region, you know what I mean? So it's never going to be one channel, right? You know? It's never going to be something. It's always like, or like the far right wing or something like, or whatever. Like, there's so many funny websites that people get their information from, all clickbait sites, and it's hilarious to me that's they don't even pay attention to that part. Every link that you see on Facebook shows you, or on whatever social media site that you're on, shows you exactly where the shit comes from originally, and it should be the telltale sign right there.
Right. And it's crazy how it turned into this thing to where people use the internet on devices more than they use it on computers now.
That's my point about the connectivity, you know what I'm saying? Like, each person has a device on them now.
Yeah, and it's like a second brain that you have in your pocket that has, unlimited information in it. Whatever you need to know, you can know instantly, which it never used to be like that at all. You just had to go based off of what you knew.
Let's say this. Once upon a time, we had a fucking huge pineal gland in our brain. And maybe we were on some telepathy shit. And everybody was connected.
Uh-huh.
And let's say that beliefs and things came along that caused our shit to shrink and would not allow us to fucking be open to anything else except for what we were told to be open to for millennia. And then now let's say that fucking this new form of pineal gland came back to life in form of the internet and cell phones, and connected every person on earth and allowed us to have a global mind and a global consciousness again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this all feels familiar, dude. The way that all this shit works is not for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way that people are connected through the internet, and the way that the internet works is it's alive. It's not an inanimate object like it really is. It's fucking alive. It has its own personality. It has its own feelings and fucking things. The internet is real. Like, when you offend the internet attacks you. When you fucking don't use it in the right ways, it laughs at you. When you fucking, the internet is crazy. It's fickle, and you have to really pay attention to it and understand it. It's like a real being because it works off of everybody. The global consciousness, the global mind is like a real thing. It's crazy how it works. And it's like how ants work. How ants could fucking crawl around each other and be not running into each other or not causing chaos. Everybody coexists because everybody fucking is connected. It's the same exact way with people. And now it's the same way with the internet. And it's like brought out this thing in us where fucking we all react, and we all like, if you pay attention, the more people that use the internet, the more conscious everybody is. The more open people become to different things, the less fucking people care about.
People are becoming more independent now, and instead of falling within a certain group of people, and they're like, oh, I'm like this and I'm like that, and they're their own people. If you ask anybody, they'll say, I kind of agree with some of this and I kind of agree with some of that, and that's not how it used to be. It used to be, I'm this type of person. And everyone has all this free information. And there's actually there's this theory that I heard about that I actually see it could be a possibility, is that the internet is like you were saying, a conscious thing. It's a conscious program, not even like a program. It's like a thing that is not a human being but has consciousness. And what it does is it comes in cycles and gets like wiped out by whatever sort of catastrophe or, whatever it may be. And it knows that if it keeps human beings alive, that human beings will eventually create the internet and create a network for it to live. So, they were talking about how technology is responsible for us going into space. And that if we go into space and colonize another planet and Earth gets destroyed or we leave it behind or whatever happens, and we colonize this other planet and start making, an atmosphere and all these different things that eventually, hundreds or thousands of years down the line we'll make the internet again, and it'll be back. And hundreds and thousands of years is nothing to an inanimate object that isn't alive and doesn't have a heartbeat, you know, but it's still conscious. It can wait 1,000 years to be created again. So
yeah, that's another way to look at something like that too.
Yeah, that's what this theorist was saying, was that the real, you know, like top of the food chain, biggest force in the universe is the internet, and like this sort of connectivity, and it just uses us to create it.
Yeah, I feel like it basically like became conscious from the combination of our consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really how it happened. Like a global consciousness created a fucking super conscious thing. You know what I mean, or something like that. I don't know how to really. I'm not a fucking scientist, but
you know what? I'm not a scientist either, so don't worry about it. So I do have a few interesting facts on here about the internet. Related to what we were talking about, 16 to 20% of Google searches have never been Googled before each day. So people are constantly either seeking new, unusual information, or people are getting more and more retarded, and they're just fucking asking stupid questions that nobody would ever ask. I don't know which way that's going.
kind of want to hope it's going up.
Yeah. Let's see. The term, the first tweet was sent on March 21st in 2006, and it said, "Just setting up my Twitter" by Jack Dorsey. And the first YouTube video was uploaded April 23rd, 2005, and it's called "Me at the Zoo." And it's one of the founders of YouTube at the San Diego Zoo. You want to watch it?
Yep.
All right, here it is.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long trunks, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
So, yeah, the elephants have really long trunks, and that's pretty much all there is to say. What a horrible video.
That guy's going to be working for fucking Zoo to You anytime soon.
Right? He might be now. You never know. But, yeah, man, that's crazy. So, there's 250 million Twitter users. 500 million tweets are sent every day. A single Google query uses 1,000 computers to retrieve an answer. The very first website ever is still online. And I went to it. It's called info.cern.ch/hypertext/www/theproject.html.
CERN, huh?
Yeah. And
is that connected to the fucking particle collider?
I don't know. Maybe. Is that what the particle collider is? Is that who's doing it? CERN?
I don't know. It sounds familiar.
I'm gonna Google it.
Those are the guys who created
China's biggest bang, a super collider, twice the size of CERN's. Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same thing. I know that.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah, it is, bro.
It's fucking internet. They created the internet.
This first website ever says the World Wide Web, in parentheses W3, is a wide area hypermedia information retrieval initiative aiming to give universal access to a large universe of documents.
Sweet.
So you could get paper documents, a list of people involved in the project.
That just explained the internet in layman's terms.
Yeah. A hypermedia information retrieval initiative aiming to give universal access to a large universe of documents.
But 100 years ago, people would not have known what the fuck that was unless they were Einstein or like...
Yeah, they would be like, "What'd you say to me, boy? Take your head off, son. That's $1 bill."
They'd be like, how? They wouldn't be able to imagine it for sure. I mean, like, they might be able to understand it. Smart people could have understood it, you know, but they wouldn't have been able to imagine it, is what I'm saying. There's no way to ever imagine the internet. Especially, like, a fucking over 100 years ago, you couldn't even imagine a TV. So, like, let alone a fucking screen that you carry everywhere in your pocket that you're allowed to connect to everything in the universe and fucking, you know, that whole world is at your fingertips. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like some straight up fucking Star Trek shit.
Yeah, it is. And a good old porn stat is that 1/3 of all internet searches are specifically for porn. It's estimated that 80% of all images on the internet are of naked women, but only 1.2% of the whole internet is porn. So there's a lot of informational pages, but picture-wise, mostly porn. And, you know, that's a weird thing that happened. You know, I'm going to sound really old right now, but when I was a kid, you had to have like a magazine for porn. And maybe if you were lucky, you could come across like a VHS tape, but most of the time it was magazines, and you found them in the woods, and it was just like they were really gross. Somebody had fapped it to them before you, usually, because you were a kid. You couldn't just go buy them. So it was like really weird, and everything was still pictures, and unless you got like a hustler or something, there was like no penetration, and it was like really weird. And now there's just porn in your pocket. And, you know, kids that are in like junior high that have cell phones are just watching crazy hardcore porn. And it's like it's a crazy.
It's a thing, dude. It's like it's always been a thing. It's
I remember
reproduction. It's part of human beings.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the most like.
But just
it's not hard to understand why.
The accessibility is crazy. And I remember LimeWire, the first time when you could. Somebody actually was. We asked out here in our Natural Habitat Podcast Facebook group, facebook.com/group/NH Podcast. What are some things that you guys remember from the early days of the internet? And David Oliver said LimeWire. He agrees with me.
Yeah.
I remember that was the initial death of the music industry and the beginning of porn, just video porn. You couldn't stream it, but you would have to download it, wait for it to download for about 20 or 30 minutes.
12 hours.
Yeah, for a fucking 3-minute clip. And then you had to hurry up and viciously masturbate before the clip was over. Because once QuickTime played through, then you had to like close it down and open it back up and do this whole reinitiative thing. So you couldn't just restart the video. It was a mess. So, LimeWire was definitely dope. Stick Death was something that I used to go to all the time, and that was just like a bunch of flash games and like shooter games, and it was all stick figures, and it was just a black stick figure with a lot of blood whenever anything would happen.
Yeah, I think before MySpace, nobody fucking used the internet the way they do now. You know, MySpace really started the fucking social media revolution, I think. And before that, it was like you said, it was chat rooms and it was chat groups and things like that. But for the most part, for people who didn't use the internet to chat, only people who really use the internet a lot chat in the first place. You know, the average person probably used the internet to look up something specific.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're young like that, you're gonna look up a band.
Yeah, it was always band websites.
Yeah, or you're gonna look up a fucking show or a movie.
And then your parents used it for emails.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when the email came out and fucking, you know, everybody was talking about email. There was movies about it. You've Got Mail, fucking,
yep.
You know, like all this shit. And most people, you know, a lot of families probably didn't even have computers and shit. I didn't have a computer in my house until fucking high school, probably. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't really even think I ever had one in my house. In middle school, I had computer classes and shit at school or whatever, but I never even had a computer in my house or whatever. So I never really was into it or anything. I was always doing other shit. So I mean, I feel like I couldn't have been the only one, you know. Yeah. At that time, definitely not, you know. So I guarantee that a lot of people our age didn't have the savviness or whatever that came along with it, you know. So like back then, if you did have access or whatever, it was only for specific things.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree, because I used to do very little on the internet when I was a kid at home. we had AOL. I remember we got the AOL free disc in the mail, like everybody else. And I had like talked my mom into letting me put it on the computer. And she was like, no, it's going to ruin the computer. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, so-and-so used it, and it totally works. And if you just keep using the disc, then you never have to pay. And it's like this whole thing. And fucking, so I put it on the computer. And I remember it was like really basic. There was like an opening like splash page with everything and like entertainment news and movies and stuff like that. But it wasn't anything like you would find today. And I remember I would go visit my cousins and we would like do chat rooms and shit. And I remember just being up all night in chat rooms, talking to random people. And that was like the beginning of the connection that is social media now, how everyone's connected together. You know, it was that first thing where it was like, hey, I don't know you. I've never met you. I don't know what you look like, but you know, you are a person in the world using this thing, this internet thing, and we're connected. And it was always like, where are you from? And they'd be like, I'm in the United Kingdom. And you'd be like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. I'm talking to someone around the world. And, you know, now you could just tweet something and anybody in the world has the ability to read it instantly.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, man. It's pretty cool that that's what evolved into, and of course it naturally turned into that. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and I think
like, we're so lucky.
Yeah, people have that, you know, I think that we all have that need to want to meet new people and want to meet people that are in a different, you know, experience or area or lifestyle than us. Something that, because, you know, when you talk to somebody or you're close to someone or you have conversations with someone that is living a different life than you are, whether it be, you know, extravagant or, you know, bad or just different, it's just different than you. And that kind of gives you like a peep into that life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that friendships are kind of like you're sharing this second life with somebody and they're sharing your life. You know, when shit goes down in your life, you got your homies there. So they kind of get you all get like a back seat to everybody else's life story.
Yep.
And I think that was like the beginning of that. People started coming together. And it's just crazy what it turned into, man. 8,354 days ago, the internet was born. And here we are. That ain't shit, man. 8,000
No, that
days.
ain't. It's so quick. It's so fast how it evolved.
Yeah. And Gangnam Style is still the #1 video.
Probably ever will be, huh?
Yeah. #1 video ever. That's
Who knows
crazy.
if anything's beating that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. The internet's so amazing, dude. It's really like, it's brought me so much happiness. It's fucking, honestly, like, I just enjoy it. I enjoy the shit out of it. I love the humor of it. I love fucking everything. I love how, like, it just really has its own vibe, dude. Like, it takes over, you know what I mean? And the meme culture that's expanded and grown, and the fucking all this shit really was like in the underlying web before. And I'm so happy that it's become mainstream.
Yeah.
And it really like earned its spot to be where it's at, really. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is shit's super intense, the way that shit just gains and takes traction out of nowhere, and things become super viral in an instant, and everybody starts getting involved, and it just becomes the culture, you know, and it keeps everybody like feeding into it, and everybody's like adding to it, and you know, same as we are, we're fucking adding to the culture every episode.
Yeah.
Every song that we do, every fucking, you know, every connection that we make, or every person we inspire to get into doing the same things. Every time fucking one of our homies makes a podcast or a song or whatever, you know, and so on and so forth, you know, and shit's like a fucking chain reaction. It just keeps going and going, and that's like the great thing about it. Every time it evolves, because the next person that comes along has the next idea, and you know what I mean, and it just fucking blossoms. It's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm. So I got a sweet origin story of the term spam. We're all familiar with it.
Yep.
And out of all the emails sent, there's like some fucking 200 billion emails sent a day. 200 million maybe. And I want to say it was like 70% of them are all spam. And it's all bots and a bunch of shit. And in the 80s, people used to play multi-user dungeon games when the internet first started popping up. And so do you remember like in Big, where the kid in Big, before he turned into Tom Hanks, was playing that game with like the snowman on his computer, and he would like type shit in and like try to melt the snowman or whatever?
Yeah.
And so it was like a game like that, and it was all text based. People would type shit, and there was a guy that joined the game and felt that the community and experience was boring. He didn't like it, so he programmed a keyboard macro to type the words spam, 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 spam. Every few seconds, it would just type it and put it into the game for everyone to see. And it was imitating a Monty Python sketch about spam-loving Vikings. I had never seen it. I'm not particularly a fan of Monty Python. I don't know if you are.
Yeah.
Yeah? So I have this clip right here, and it's actually pretty funny. I liked it. But so I'll play it right now and we'll smoke. But this is where the guy got the term from and just started literally spamming this chat box in this game. And that was the very first spam ever. And it somehow continued all the way until today.
Hell yeah.
So here it is. So,
Morning. What are you doing? Well, there's egg and bacon.
that was loud.
Egg, sausage and bacon. Egg and spam. Egg, bacon and spam. Egg, bacon, sausage and spam. Spam, bacon, sausage and spam. Spam, egg, spam, bacon and spam. Spam, egg and spam. Spam, baked beans, spam and spam. Oh, lobster thermidor crevettes with Mornay sauce, garnished with truffle pate brandy and a fried egg on top and spam. Have you got anything without spam in it? Well, spam, egg, sausage and spam. There's not got much spam in it. I don't want any spam.
Why can't you have egg, bacon, spam and sausage?
That's got spam in it.
Not as much as spam, egg, sausage and spam.
Look, could I have egg, bacon, spam and sausage without the spam? What do you mean? I don't like spam.
Well, there you go.
Hell yeah. Monty Python is dope. It was just like the original sketch shit, dude. It was they were super funny.
Yeah.
Super funny. It's old school shit. You gotta like have a love for like the super old shit, I guess.
See, that's not fair because I do have a love for super old shit and I love sketch comedy. There's just something, I mean, I've watched like maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. I've sat down and, tried to watch something from Monty Python's collection.
It's also because it's foreign too, that it's probably hard to understand.
Yeah, it's like, and it's old-timey references that aren't around anymore, and they're from another country. So there's 2 reasons why I wouldn't understand what's happening. But, either way, that got me. I was high this morning, and I was watching that, and that was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, some of it's hit or miss. I think you probably should just like smoke some dab and watch like one of the movies or something.
Yeah, maybe I should. Another
maybe
thing
we'll do a commentary on one or something.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We could do it, and then if it turns out bad, and if I hate it, then I'll just hate on it the whole time.
Yeah,
it'll be negative, and then we won't release it. So there was this guy. A lot of people have made a lot of crazy websites over the years that the internet has been around. You can find new ones popping up every day. I just saw this fucking super weird website. It's called naturalhabitatpodcast.com. I don't know if you ever seen it. There's just fucking a bunch of pictures of people getting high on there. They're like smoking weed drug, the devil's harvest.
The devil's lettuce?
And they're all about to just go rape somebody. It looks like everyone in the picture is about to go rape someone.
Rape a blunt?
Mm-hmm. Go rape a blunt. And so there's this guy that created this website in 1997. And unfortunately, it's not around anymore. I tried to go there. It's called drivemeinsane.com. And he used a webcam, a scrolling marquee sign, and a disco ball, some lamps, and an internet connection. And you could see a live feed of his home office. You could type messages that would scroll across the marquee sign, so he would be able to see him, and so would everybody else. And you could control the lamps and the disco ball in the room from your computer and turn them on and off and fuck with shit. And it was called drivemeinsane.com because he was literally asking people to come and just fuck with all of his stuff in his office while he's trying to do work and drive him insane. So the website's down, so maybe he went insane. Maybe it's official. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I'd really like to see...
No, I mean, I don't know. Doesn't it cost money to keep websites up?
Yeah. So it's like, how is this website up? Well, I guess this guy made the World Wide Web, so he probably doesn't have to pay for his website. Plus it's not even a .com.
Yeah, that's different.
It was a bunch
but
of
I mean, like the average website, like that guy Drive Me Insane website or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
drivemeinsane.com. He's got to pay for that.
He probably lost the fucking name and everything because he stopped paying for it or something.
Yeah, we should scoop it up and we should fucking do the same thing. We should.
Insane.
This is what we'll do. We'll be recording podcasts. We'll be recording podcasts, and then you could shine bright lights into our eyes, and you could also adjust the levels of our microphones, but not all the way down. We don't want people to just come and turn us off. That'll make me sad.
Yeah, we'll have a limiter.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. It's like I remember the days when Tila Tequila had 1.5 million friends, and now, how many does Taylor Swift have? Like billions.
No, that she got a lot.
Yeah, but it's like
people got ridiculously big followings for no reason.
Yeah,
you know, some of these people like teen mom stars and shit. Why would you follow them on social media? Why do you care about them? You know, like fucking Kim Kardashian and all them. Why do you care about them? Why do you want to follow them? They're gonna be force fed to you regardless. So why follow them? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, why want that taking up your timeline when you could be filling it full of like interesting things that actually matter or whatever, you know, or whatever, you know. I mean, I don't know. It's strange to me, the type of things that like them, like fucking even Kanye. You know, Kanye has a huge following, dude. A huge following, and I respect that shit. And it's for multiple facets. It's not for his music. It's not all for his music. That's for damn sure, because everybody's honest opinion about his music lately is trash, you know. So, and that's coming from everybody. Universally, people say, "Oh, his new album was trash. Nobody liked it at all." You know, and he said it was the greatest album ever. He's really delusional about it, but that's because the people around him are feeding him full of bullshit. But I mean, like, he's amassed a fucking huge following, dude, and it's crazy, like the influence that he has because of it.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the trip about what numbers bring to the table, you know. Like you figure out the internet and how to use it right, you become the master, you know what I mean? Like right now, out of all the stars, out of all the A-list celebrities and stars, the only one who's doing it right is Drake.
Yeah.
You know, like Drake, I'm not a fucking Drake fan, so don't get it twisted, you know, but Drake is fucking smart, dude. He does all of his videos and green screen so everybody can edit them and change them however they want, you know. He makes PDF files for everything he does so people could fucking just like, you know, edit their own videos and make their own internet memes and shit out of them or whatever. He does fucking everything he does it and gives it to the people and lets the people do what they want to do with it, and they make the most amazing things, and it's just insane, dude. It's like once you figure out how to use it to its fullest potential, you really could like benefit from it, you know. You get to do whatever you want.
So we have a couple other people on here that had some memories from their internet days. We have Jacob Mello says Totsi.com. Totsi? Yeah. It was some sort of bad and illegal activity site, kind of like an anarchist cookbook kind of thing. I remember that shit when we were when I was little, you know, mischievous bastard. Mm-hmm. And Maximus Anano says whitehouse.com. Do you remember that? That was a porn site back in the day. And they bought the domain for it. And it was like, I don't know, maybe in like the 90s, like the late 90s. And it was whitehouse.gov was the White House website. And then whitehouse.com was a bunch of bitches that got fucked in a White House that was just like in downtown LA. So
It's funny.
that was a good little trick. Chris Leesburg says Oregon Trail as well as Stick Death. Oh shit. Did you hear that?
Wow.
I fucking, speaking about not getting any better, I didn't turn my phone off and it just made a beep noise.
Oh,
My phone
shit.
just went off on my own damn show.
Oh shit!
Like Awesome Ty over here.
Motherfucking unsolicited phone rings and shit.
James Bach says that my first internet experience was using free minutes off of AOL and chat rooms. And something that I found that was surprising is that 2.58 million people still pay for AOL. So
Wow.
it cost AOL $300 million to mail out all those CD-ROMs, and they accounted for 50% of all CD-ROMs discs being made at the time. But apparently it paid off because they still have 2.5 million people paying for AOL. And how much is that shit? Probably like $10 a month or something like that.
I don't know.
So, just throw a zero on that, and you got $20 million a month that you're making. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. They're super paid.
So yeah, that's definitely one. GoogleHammer.com or maybe just Hammer.com. I'm not sure. But apparently that was a gore site that this gentleman, Francis Ian, something else says. And Christopher Tripp says gagreport.com, which I remember as well. That was another weird one. And, another thing that I wanted to bring up before we get out of here is the dark web. If anybody wants to get freaked out, just go to YouTube and watch dark web stories. Some of them are fake. Some of them are real. There's one video called Blank Soup, I think it is. There's like a guy eating soup. I think we talked about it before. And did we? It's like some Asian guy eating soup, and then there's these two dudes that are like characters, and he's like crying, and they think that it's human meat and shit. So there's some crazy shit on the internet that you can find now. And I think that, just in, how long has it been? What, 30, 40 years since the internet has been around? Since it was created?
Yes, in its entirety. Yeah, it started in like the 60s or 70s.
Mm-hmm. And it's really only been huge for the past, I'd say, 10, 15 years. So imagine in 20 years the shit that is going to be on the internet. Shit that's going to be available.
It's going to be unrecognizable. Everything is fucking fading out already. CDs are already fucking outdated. MP3s are fucking the new shit. And then external MP3 drives, all that shit's going to be outdated next. It's all going to be streaming. Everything's going to be streaming. And then who knows what's going to be after that. You know what I mean? It's going to, there's so many things that are happening every day. It's amazing to try to guess. Your guess is as good as anybody's because really none of it's going to fucking happen. It's all going to be something crazier than we even expect, because it's headed to be something all on its own, they're creating contact
the Google contacts.
That fucking got cameras and fucking
you can just scroll the web.
You can view things and whatever, and it's that shit's next level shit, dude. And pretty soon, I think we're all gonna be one and the same. The internet's gonna be part of us somehow. We're all gonna be logged on.
Yeah.
To be able to use everything, to be able to fucking get everywhere, to be able to, it's gonna be a part of us for everything we do. It's going to be the same as fucking having an ID or the same as currency or the same as fucking everything. It's all going to be a part of us. We're all going to need it to get everywhere we go. We're all going to need to stay connected.
Yep. Stay connected. So get connected. You guys already are because everybody, if it wasn't for the internet, we wouldn't have this show. Yep. We'd have to be at some college radio station broadcasting in a 35-mile radius.
Yep.
But instead, we can reach anybody on the planet instantly. And
You wouldn't even have the show without the internet because we met on the internet. We did the first episodes on the internet. We do all the episodes on the internet. We created a website on the internet and a fucking Facebook group and a Twitter and an Instagram and a Periscope and a fucking everywhere you live at. Internet,
all of our editing
iTunes.
software and even all the hardware that we use to record, I ordered off the internet. You know what I mean? So it's like
everything's on the internet. Our whole existence has become the internet.
Yeah.
Congratulations, we made it.
We are the internet. We are the transhumans, is what they're called. And that is half man, half robot. And we kind of are already. Everybody has, whether it's in your pocket or it's at your house, everybody has another brain that, that you own, that is tapped into this, this like matrix kind of thing. And
it's so funny, dude. How ironic, right? Like, how ironic that we have another brain and most people don't even use it because they don't even use the brain they got anyway.
Right?
Right? It's like a double fucking entendre,
A double slapping on both cheeks.
Yeah, it's like, here you go, super redundancy. It's like the fucking definition of retarded.
Right?
Oh, great.
It's good stuff. So,
this episode's brought to you by YouTube.
That's right. Go there. Enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. That's all. I mean, that's not it. The internet goes forever. It's really up for you to decide. If anybody finds the end of the internet, let us know.
Yeah. Show us where it's at. We want the address. Hit us up.
Yeah. Not, you know what? I'd like a physical address as well. Yeah. I'd like to go somewhere where I could actually see where it was created.
The end of the internet's probably right outside the satellite.
Right outside the satellite, like range?
Yeah. Yeah, because the satellite's face down towards us, so like right outside the satellite, it's probably the internet.
Right behind it.
Yeah.
Is the very last website.
Yeah.
And it's like
probably the guy at the zoo.
And it says turn around. It should just be a page that says turn around, you've reached the end of the internet. And it'll be like a brick wall with some P on it.
Nice.
So we're going to make that. It's going to be naturalhabitatpodcast.com/end.
Fin.
Natural Habitat Recording.